The media attacked us on the campaign. Remember, attacked me, oh, you can't spend the money on Trump, go give it to the Senate. Attacked us on the transition. President Trump put in the best cabinet in the history of cabinets, I think. Now, feed ridiculous stories, and all we do every day, and all President Trump does every day, is hit his agenda every single day. Whether it's TPP, whether it's deregulation, whether it's Neil Gorsuch, whatever it is, his promise is coming through every day.
Okay, so there you've got the White House Chief of Staff, Reince Priebus, flying in the face of the headlines you see that this White House is all messed up, they're not getting anything done, backstabbing, behind the scenes. Keep in mind, how many of Donald Trump's campaign promises has he already accomplished through executive order?
Which the media doesn't want to.
And no, they want to see it in a total disarray. We want to bring in Steve Hilton for more on this, who's speaking tonight, I believe, at CPAC at 5. I can't promise you're going to have, you know, the crowd screaming at you like President Trump, but I know everyone's excited to have you there.
Well, it's great to be with you as well this morning, and I thought it was interesting watching that. Bannon and Priebus were completely right to point out what the media is doing. If you actually look at the coverage, there's no effort to be fair or balanced.
Nope.
You know, they are literally trying to undermine the administration, and I think the reason for that is that they still can't quite believe that Donald Trump is the president. They're angry at the voters for making him president, and they basically look down their noses at everything to do with Trump because he's not like them. And I think the real truth of what's going on, as Bannon set out when he was really clear about the long-term plan that they're working on, is that this is a revolution. And it's a much-needed revolution because this country needs big change. Yeah. And what you're seeing from the media, in a way, is a counter-revolution. But the difference is it's not democratic. No one voted for them, but they did vote for Donald Trump, and they voted for the change that he and his team are bringing.
Well, and Steve, you know, you were involved in the Brexit movement, which many saw as a precursor to what Donald Trump did. You hear a lot of the same language, the corporatist, globalist media elites versus the people who want their sovereignty back, and then this opposition party that enables the corporatists and the media elites as well. This is what Steve Bannon had to say about seeing Donald Trump as a winner.
President Trump, when he was running, he made a, and this is the other thing that the mainstream media or opposition party never caught, is that if you want to see the Trump agenda, it's very simple. It was all in the speeches. It was those rallies and those speeches. All he's doing right now is he's laid out an agenda with those speeches, with the promises he made, and our job every day is just to execute on that, is to simply get a path to how those get executed.
So, Steve, what will it take for the media to report those promises being delivered?
Good luck. That's a good question, exactly. Look, I think that in the end, the results will speak for themselves and the reality of people's lives. You know, the fundamental focus, I think, of all these changes really is bringing back jobs, raising incomes, restoring that sense of hope and opportunity to working Americans right across the country. They'll feel that in their lives and in their communities, regardless of what the media says.
Well, you know, the thing about the media, and it's one of the reasons that Steve Bannon, he kind of went into this a little yesterday, talking about how media, the opposition party, who in the mainstream media gave Donald Trump a year ago a chance that he would be elected president? 2 years ago, they didn't even think he was going to be running as a serious candidate.
They were laughing.
He did.
George Stephanopoulos laughed at it, remember?
Absolutely. And when it came to the pundits, they all said he didn't have a chance. And, you know, the one who's laughing now is Donald Trump and the people who supported him to become the president of the United States.
Yeah, and I think that one of the really important reasons that they were so dismissive and still are so dismissive is because he speaks the way people speak. He speaks in plain English. He tells it like it is. He doesn't use all the fancy jargon of politics, the blah, blah,
weasel
blah.
Words.
We've all got used to that for so many years, and of course politicians use that language to cover up the fact that they don't deliver their promises, and people have sensed that. They've sensed that whoever they vote for, nothing really changes. And finally, here's a guy who speaks so plainly and simply that you can't mistake his promises, and you can see clearly whether they're going to be done or not. And I just think that is the really big difference, and I think that the media will never understand that because it's such a challenge to their entire worldview and the way that they operate. But on the other hand, people out there really do get it, and they love it.
Yeah, well, you've been behind this Brexit movement. It's so interesting to see the parallels there. You have a long day today. You're going to be speaking at CPAC later tonight. What is your message going to be?
Well, I'm going to focus on Europe, actually. I'll be on with Ambassador Bolton, who our viewers will be very familiar with, and we'll be looking at different aspects of America's alliances and what the new administration means for that. I'll be focusing on Europe. And the key point that I want to make is that America's focus should be not on the EU, which has been the case under Obama, where he prioritized the relationship of America and the EU over the relationship with individual allies like the UK. The EU is an undemocratic, bureaucratic organization, and we should focus on the relationships with those long-standing allies like the UK that have worked so well for us over the years.
And thankfully, that's what's been done so far with under President Trump, no doubt.
That'll be interesting.
And speaking of President Trump, Fox & Friends is going to interview the President of the United States on Monday afternoon, and then it's going to run on Tuesday morning before his address before a joint session of Congress. Folks out there in TV land, if you've got a question for us, we'll ask him. Email us, friends@foxnews.com or friends@foxnews.com, or you could Facebook us or tweet us.
I love it.
It's going to be a great interview. Steve, thanks for being with us this morning.
Steve.
Good to have you here. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
We'll be watching.